Hey everyone, this is Jaybird, and welcome to another one of my StarCraft 2 commentaries. Today we're going to have a Zerg versus Terran matchup here on Blistering Sands. In the top right position, as the red Zerg, we have Takisis. Again, I'm not even going to try with that one. I'll probably just call him the Zerg player for the rest of the game. And down in the bottom left we have Nuggler. I guess if you like Nuggling, he's your Nuggler. Blistering Sands is most famous for this destructible back rocks in the back door here. You have your front choke point here, very small ramp, easy to protect. But late game, very interesting because you can get these destructible rocks destroyed, leaving it wide open in the back. Looks like not even getting right off the bat here with the insults because you played Terran. I think he's obviously implying that Terran is overpowered. That's the big thing going around these days, that Terran is overpowered. But anyways, I will not pay too much attention to that. If you're a first-time viewer, I like to cast games that you don't see every day, where maybe it's quirky for some reason, or you don't really see every day. Basically, unique games, and if you have any, feel free to send them my way. Again, I want to thank Martin. I don't think I mentioned that yet. He sent me this replay. I don't believe that he is in this game, only that his friend was in this game and sent it to me. So going back to the game, oh yes, I'm trying to get this all straight. If you have a replay that you want me to cast, it's kind of a crazy or fun game, something unique, send it my way, jaybirdsstarcraft@gmail.com. But now that I have all of that out of the way, I'll continue to focus back on this game. Down here we have, going for that 13 expansion, 13 hatchery. Coming back up here, we also have the spawning pool coming down very early as well, at the same time as the hatchery. And the Terran players continuing to just wall off, always a smart position, going for that second barracks on 17 food as well. Overlord just about to come in with the scouting. It looks like he just wants to check out to see if there's any sort of wall in, which there already is, and also if there's any sort of expansion going down. The spawning pool is just about to finish as well. Let's take a quick look at the units here. We do have 18 to 14, not too uncommon early on, because of course the drones need to be used to make buildings as Zerg. But we do see his his minerals piling up a little bit here. Not quite sure if he's saving up for something. They did go down a little bit, but he is continuing to pump out those drones and does have a queen on the way. And if we take a look down at Nuggler, just finishing up his orbital command, giving him the ability to scan and mule and all those wonderful fun things. And the refinery is down as well. His factory going up. He's got his 4 Marines out. I don't think he's done any scouting yet. Or has he? Yes, he just did a scan. Okay, I was wondering why he could look exactly into his base. Some Zerglings on the way, and it looks like that expansion is just finishing up. A couple spine crawlers for defense going down as well. There's actually quite an easy place to hold with the expansion because, again, very narrow choke point here. Some players even choose just to go straight out here and just wall off there. This is perfectly fine to wall off back here as well. Marauder is out. 5 Marines. And just a supply depot coming down. Keeping his minerals nice and low. That's good as well. We do have the Hellion coming out of the completed factory. And we do have a layer on the way, I believe, yes. And again, you can always keep those minerals down a little bit. You don't want to see those getting too high, especially when you got your 10 Zerglings. I'm not sure how many. He's got 1, 2 larvae out there. But Nuggler is also throwing down his expansion. You may or may not see. I do not believe he can see. No, he can see that. And I guess I could just look. Okay, he does not see the Overlord there. And he's throwing down a bunker for protection as well. These Zerglings are on the move. Looks like, are they going to come up here for the Zelnaga Tower? Yes, one Zergling's going to pop up there, take a look-see. And more Zerglings on the way. This looks to be quite well defended from a few Zerglings, especially with that Hellion out there as well. Looks like we have a starport going down in the base. Looks like in the back perhaps to hide it from any sort of quick scouting. Nothing in the bunker yet. We'll see if they hop in. No, those Zerglings are not even going to try to jump in there. But very nice tactic here is holding both of these Zelnaga watchtowers. Just take a quick look at the vision. He can see so much of the map here, where as opposed to here, he's just got his little corner of vision. So always a good thing. Hold those watchtowers, especially a Zerg. Very easy. Basically costs you 25 minerals per Zelnaga tower if you put a Zergling on there. So this is up and completed. We have a Spire and a banelings nest coming down. There's the Spire. For those of you who've watched a few of my games, you know it's always hard for me to find the elusive Spire under construction. And the baneling nest as well. I'm getting better. I got the skills. Zerglings building up down here. Scan going down, coincidentally, as I watch. Just there checking out. He's got that queen down there. Queen up here spawning their larvae. Always good. And wow, he is very... lots and lots of minerals going up there. Maybe perhaps a little supply blocked. Just gonna have to pump out those overlords. He does have 2 on the way. And getting the upgrade, just finishing. But that's not something you want to see for those new players out there. But that's pretty much the one fact I harp on all the time. Just spend your minerals. Just if you can't spend them, you gotta find a way to spend them. More unit producing stations, more upgrades, whatever you need, you just spend those minerals. Because essentially, if we're looking at the red Zerg here, he is basically 1,400 minerals, basically of no army or anything at this point. And that's not going to help you out when you get into a little fight, a little scuffle with the enemy Terran here. Luckily, the Terran is not being aggressive at this point, choosing to stay back and just get his expansion up and going as well. But again, the Zerg takes nice use of these overlords and the watchtowers, being able to see a great deal of the map. This has got to be at least a third or half of the map. And we do have the mutas on the way. We have a couple starports down here. They're going to be pumping out some Vikings, but it might be a little too late. These mutas might be able to get some good economic harass going down. They're going to instead focus in on these starports here, which may not be the best move here. These Vikings are going to pop out. They're just going to tear those mutas to pieces. Hellions, no, you cannot do anything. Run back, Hellions, run back. Marauders not going to do much either. A couple Marines, just going to be lambs to the slaughter. But there we go, we got a Viking out. One more just about to be finished, and those Mutalisks are going to retreat as they should. Back up at the base here, we do have the Banelings nest complete. We don't have much going down in the ways of production, but we do have more Vikings on the way for Nuggler and Engineering Bay going down as well. Units continuing to fly around the map here for the red Zerg player. If you ever are in this position where you're just overloaded in minerals, feel free to just, well, it looks like he does have good saturation on these. And he does have these as well, so it is kind of hard to say, but don't, if you, excuse me, more Mutalisks coming in. What I'm trying to say is, if you're in a situation like this, where you still have open geysers, feel free to take some guys off those minerals and just move them to gas. Again, at this point, since he's doing such a heavy Vespene gas build with these Mutalisks, it's just going to be hard to build up that gas, but if you're overflowing in minerals, just don't worry, just move those to gas, as long as they're have less than 3 in there. Looks like a creep tumor coming down. Hasn't been as proactive with spreading the creep as he has been with spreading his vision. And creep is another thing that you always want to do and use because it is wonderful if you are a Zerg. Mutalisks continue to fly around the map. And again, just looking at this, there's almost 3 more Mutalisks that could be underway. And especially if you have this many minerals and you're still supply blocked, you gotta just pump out overlords or something. You gotta spend those minerals because you're not gonna be able to build up your army any faster than 3 Mutalisks at a time right here without those overlords. Throwing down some of those missile turrets. Looks like 1, 2, 3 are underway. 4th one going down there. Might be a little bit of an overreaction. Yeah, that's a lot of an overreaction right there. Especially if you got those Vikings. How many Vikings does he have out? He has 6 Vikings out. That's a little... He doesn't know how many Mutalisks. But yeah, right now the Mutalisks are a little over there. A little over the Viking count. But you don't need this many missile turrets. But be that as it may, I am not the one playing, I am the one watching. And here come the Mutalisks. So they look like they were going to go for those destructible rocks, but instead they're going to be deterred by those missile turrets. And again, the Terran player choosing just to, looks like a little bit of some turtling action here. Just going to hold up, build up his forces. Take a quick look at the income here. Blue is surprisingly way ahead here. Even his minerals are starting to build up here, but not quite as much. Let's just look straight at the resources. I know what I'm doing. Exactly tied, 89 to 89 at this point, but lots and lots of excess resources here. That's a lot of Zerglings and banelings, by the way. I'm looking up here at the resources, but lots of Zerglings and banelings. Sort of reminds me of the ant infestation in my basement that I have. I have nightmares about that. And now they are here in my StarCraft 2 commentary. Maybe a little too much that you wanted to know there. We have the Mutalisks sitting around up here. And yeah, just a little bit of turtling going on here. Just 2 guys just building up, hanging out, having some turtling fun. But the Mutalisks look like they're going to come in, try to poke around, find a little weakness. But again, Nuggler has built quite the amount of missile turrets, and it's probably going to be safe at this point. We'll see if they do anything. Another expansion coming down for the red Zerg player, going for the gold expansion. These guys are just going to hang out. You know, Zergling, Bangling party. Why not, right? Try to scoop. Get a little action, but they did manage to find a little way into the base there. But instead they're just going to get shot at, and that's going to be the worst way that you could possibly take. Every single missile turret is in that line of flying, and oh my god. Well, that's a good way to lose most of your Mutalisks. If I was a new player, or if I was giving you some strategies, I would recommend not flying past the 15 missile turrets that are there. Just a common strategy you might try to work into your play there. It's good not to lose half your Mutalisks for no reason. Okay, back here. Just wanted to confirm we are still turtling. Turtling for fun. We have a Thor on the way as well. Let's go back to the production tab. More Mutalisks on the way to replenish that army. Another Thor on the way. And Mutalisks will just continue to fly around. Still have this nice little army here of Banelings and Zerglings with their speed upgrade. But you know, speed upgrade not as good if you just stay where you are. Usually it helps if you move around the map. That does improve the speed upgrade. Again, I'm no pro. I just try to hand out my little tips as I can. Here comes